Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am standing at Jackass Aeropark in Lathrop Wells, Nevada, which is east of Death Valley in the Amargosa Valley. Now the town is known for three things. There's a alien shop, there's a cat house, and there's a fireworks selling booth. And quite frankly, I'm not interested in any of those, but I did check it out. Alright, this airport was established in 1949 and it was originally called the Lathrop Wells Airport. And subsequently, in 1957, a slightly longer runway was built. It went from 4,700 feet to 5,000. Now, most people say that there was a different runway. They put it in a different place, so it wasn't just lengthened. That's my understanding, but I'm not certain about that. And then 2 years later, in 1959, the airport was actually closed. And it was closed from 1959 until 1964, and at that time it was reopened as Jackass Aeropark. The name Jackass comes from Jackass Flats, a nearby place where the abandoned burrows jackasses that the miners used as wild animals ended up congregating and feeding. So it was nearby, called Jackass, so they decided why not name it Jackass Aeropark. And subsequently a 6,000 foot runway was built, and that's the one that I'm standing on right now. I think it's 100 feet wide. There's an access road over here that I came in on. And there's also some debate whether or not this was paved or not, but I can show you the surface. And my belief is it was probably just heavily oiled to keep the dust down. As you drive on the oil, it kind of becomes really firm and it looks like pavement. So I think it's probably was always dirt. Now there's also another rumor that the largest jet that was ever landed here was a 737. And you can imagine it probably takes some skill to land a 737 on a 6,000 foot runway that's dirt. A little bit easier on a smooth paved runway, but probably took some skill. I'm not an aeronautics expert, but it sounds to me pretty interesting that that was done. But it's nice and wide. It's often windy here, which creates challenges, of course. So anyway, after 1964, the airport was used sporadically. I think they were talking about maybe 50 flights per month. So that's only one or two a day, average two-ish a day. So that's not that big of a deal. At that time, it was owned by the BLM. The BLM went ahead and closed it in 2004. And ever since then, it's been completely abandoned. I'm going to give you a little pano. But as you look around, the runway is still here, but there's absolutely nothing else. There's the access road, the runway, and that's pretty much about it. And you notice that I've done a flyover with the drone. How appropriate, right, at an airport. But you can see the length of the runway. It's nice and wide, it's nice and flat, and it's pretty cool. So anyway, it's a great piece of history out here in the middle of the desert. Not much to explore other than the runway, but it's still pretty cool. And the town of Lathrop Wells is also very interesting. So it's a fascinating place. All right, so there's a couple of other pieces of information that I wanted to be sure that I included. And one is the elevation of the airport. This airport is at 2,640 feet, which is right around 805 meters for those of you metrically inclined. And the other thing is that I mentioned that it was owned by the BLM, which it was, or it is. But I mentioned that they decommissioned it, and it wasn't actually their decision. It was the FAA who decommissioned the Aeropark in 2004. So just want to clear that up. But otherwise, all the information is good. I was looking for some more lore on the place, you know, planes came through here and what kind of people and what the buildings were like. I didn't find any old photographs. I'm going to keep looking, and if I find anything, I will include them. But otherwise, it's just what it is. All right, so I just talked to those guys over there, and as it turns out, there's going to be an off-road race out here. It's going to go from here to Pahrump and then over to Tonopah and back. So it's going to be like a total of 600 miles, all kinds of rigs, motorcycles, side-by-sides, Baja-style rigs. This is the entrance to the airport right here over this cattle guard. This is likely the old sign to the Aeropark, which is abandoned. So thanks for coming along. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching.